Hi, so we have Module 4, Lesson 15. We're working on multiplying fraction by another fraction. So I've shown you before how to do the rectangular fraction model, which is showing you how we're making more pieces out of some pieces. Okay, so we have less than a whole and we're going to split it into more pieces, and then our answer will still be a fraction which is smaller than what it started with. So for problem A, it already showed the work for you. Let's go to problem B. So let's solve. 3/4 of 4/5. So that means we're showing that we're taking 3/4 of 4/5. Like we're starting with 4/5 of it and then we're only going to use 3/4 of it. So we're going to show that by using the just the multiplication algorithm, but with fractions, okay? So we have thirds that we're going to cut into fourths over fourths that we're going to cut into fifths, and then we will have more pieces but a smaller than amount than we started with, okay? So now we just multiply numerator times the numerator, denominator times the denominator. So 3 pieces times 4 pieces, that gives us 12 pieces. Over. So now fourths times fifths, that gives us 4 times 5 is 20, so 20ths. So we have 12 20ths for that first one. What you can also do is you can also simplify your factors first and then multiply it. So we're thinking of division, okay? So we're thinking the digits that are across diagonally from each other. So 3 and the 5. So 3 and 5 do not have the same factors, so those ones will stay the same. But we have 4 and 4. 4 can be multiplied to equal 4. 4 can be multiplied to equal 4. So both of these, we're going to divide them by 4. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1. So we can cross that out and then put 1. And then 4 can be divided by 4. So we can cross that out and that will now be 1. So then you can multiply with your simplified factors. So now we have 3 times 1 equals 3. 1 times 5 equals 5. 3/5. So both of those fractions are correct. This would be the simplified fraction as well, okay? So now let's go with C. So C says 2/5 of 2/3. So we would have 2 pieces times 2 pieces, and then fifths times thirds. And then you just multiply and write on your new fraction, okay? So I'm going to leave that up to you to finish that up. Let me rewrite this 5. Okay, so D, we have 4/5 times 2/3. So let's write that as one whole fraction equation like that. So I'm going to have just one whole fraction line, and then we would have 4 pieces times 2 more pieces. So that would equal another numerator, 4 times 2, and then we have fifths times thirds, and that would equal your denominator, okay? So now E, we have 3/4 times 2/3. So let's write it as one whole fraction equation. So 3 times 2, and then fourths times thirds, and then plug in your answers. You also can simplify. So we would simplify by dividing diagonally across. So 3 can be divided by 3, 3 can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 equals 1. 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So now we have 2 and 4. 2 can be divided by 2. 4 can be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So then you could have 1 times 1 and 2 times 1 to have your simplified fraction answer. Okay, so now on the next one, so now we're on part 2. So this one, you are going to first simplify and then multiply your factors, okay? So I wrote out most of it for you. So we have 3/4 times 5/6. So we're going to simplify first our digits. So we have third, 3, and 6. So the 3 is a multiple of 3, 6 is a multiple of 3. So both of these we're going to divide by 3. So we have 3 divided by 3, which equals 1. So I'm going to cross that out and put 1 up top. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So I'm going to cross that out, and then that makes 2. And then 5 and 4 cannot be simplified, so those stay the same. So then you can multiply. So 1 times 5, here, numerator. 4 times 2, here, your denominator. Okay, now 2b, our last one. So we have 4/5 times 5/8. So first let's simplify. So we're going to simplify by going across. So 4 diagonally across, we have 8. 4 is a factor of 4, multiple of 4. 8 is a multiple of 4. So both of these can be divided by 4. So 4 divided by 4, 1. 8 divided by 4, 2. So now the other one, 5 and 5. Well, both of those are 5, so both of them can be divided by 5. So 5 divided by 5, 1. 5 divided by 5, 1. Then you can multiply. So then you would multiply your simplified numbers. So 1 times 1, 1 times 2, and that's it. That's all for today. Multiplying fractions has always been a favorite for 5th graders. It is a lot simpler. It just takes a little while to understand why it is the way it is, but awesome job. Okay, go ahead and finish up your answers on your class kick assignment and then turn in.